Here we are on our third match. Yes, I'd like to play first. This hand is pretty good. We get to play 4 permanents on turn 1, which is never bad. We have access to some colored mana, and we'll have a turn 2 etched, all of which I like. So, you should when playing Affinity, you should always play your mana sources first, so that way they can't, in response to you playing the Springleaf Drum or the Mox Opal, get rid of your guy and turn off Metalcraft or have you unable to Springleaf. Seachrome Coast could be ad nauseum. Could be fish on a bad start. Blue-white fish. I'd rather it be fish. But if it is ad nauseum and he didn't... Okay, path? That makes me think that this is not ad nauseum. Path is very uninteractive. This makes me think it's fish. If it is fish, we're pretty favored to win. I don't know, actually. Flooded Strand. Maybe it's some sort of control deck. Well, we drew that. Let's go ahead and fire up a Nexus and swing for 4. Or, yeah, 4. See if my opponent has another path. And then let's go ahead and play an additional Springleaf. I could have swung for a little more damage, but I don't think that was necessary. Okay, so definitely some sort of blue-white control deck then. Makes me glad I have my man lands, makes me sad I played a couple threats. But S Champion should carry us this game. This dispatch may be dead the whole game. I'm expecting my opponent has stuff like Supreme Verdict. Not being in red, though, I feel very good about that. Alright, Arcbound. I'm going to get a little tricky with this Arcbound here. No, I should have held it in case my opponent had a board wipe. I'm sort of hoping he'll just counter it, honestly. Although using the path a little prematurely, in my opinion. That makes me think it's safe to go ahead. I want to go all in on one of my Nexi here, is my plan. But if he's willing to spend resources like this, okay, yeah, I'll just pay 3 and I can do my plan. Although now, since he was willing to spend that many resources, yeah, I still think it's worth it. Just as a little insurance against a board wipe. Well, I didn't want to do that, but that's what my mouse did. That's what Moto did. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Okay, well, he had a Tectonic Edge anyway, so it's probably for the best. As now he can actually just get rid of that Blink-Womp Nexus. But not before I play Arcbound. So I'm going to force him to do it right now if he wants to do it. Alright, chose not to. Yep, fire that up. Fire up the other one. Attack my opponent for 5. My opponent looks to be just straight up blue-white control. Sack that to Arcbound. I also don't think my opponent has a board wipe in hand. Or if he does, he's missing the... Oh, well, there's a land. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has it, though. Steel Overseer is very good. Let's try and attack my opponent for 5. Steel Overseer is good, and I'm actually not going to play him. I'm going to wait until after my opponent tries to wipe or taps out, because I don't want him to just get countered here. Click, huh? Targeting who? Targeting himself. I like that. Shuffling back in a card, probably a land. A Sphinx's Rev. Yeah, my opponent's just straight up blue-white. No need to dispatch yet. I don't particularly care if my opponent has a 3/1 flyer right now. Cranial, a great draw. Let's say my opponent taps out for this cranial. I actually have lethal. No. Or man, okay. Well, I will attempt to cast it again. Mana Leak. That is fine. What I'm going to do is... Let's see, if I animate my man land, I'll have 5, 1, 2. Yeah, I'll have enough. Let's go ahead and attack. When I get priority, I'm going to sacrifice. Yeah, my opponent sees it coming. Alright, so we win that game. Thoughtseize will probably be good, and Galvanic Blast will probably be better than the dispatches. What to take out? Etched Champion is probably one of my best cards, and I think that Tempered Steel is probably pretty good too. Steel Overseer probably not that great. We'll cut a Signal Pest. Let's try that out. I believe that Tempered Steel is just going to be a card my opponent is not equipped to deal with. He may have, if he has cryptic commands, he can, but otherwise, I'm pretty sure it will be just peachy. This hand is good, not amazing, but okay. It has land. It has Midnights. Celestial Colonnade. That's good for my opponent. Well, it has a land, I should say. We're going to try and do another turn 2 etched here. Gonna go ahead and save that one. I guess there was no harm in playing it. My opponent can't board wipe turn 2. Stony Silence. Yikes. Don't think this hand can beat a Stony Silence. That's the bad thing about playing Affinity, is there are some hands where your opponent just... They're almost unbeatable. Now, if my opponent attempts to path one of these, I'm in fine shape. I basically need to try and get 2 more lands to play this etched. My opponent seems to have a pretty slow start. Don't mind Vault Scourge. Your chances to win after a Stony aren't very high, but I would never give my opponent the satisfaction of conceding to 1, unless I'm just absolutely hosed. Like here, I still have a couple creatures on the board. I have access to mana. I hope he spends a counterspell countering this. Yeah, great. That means he doesn't have a board wipe for next turn. And it's against these hands, this Stony Silence specifically, that Tempered Steel is so good. I, of course, need to draw the Tempered Steel and 2 white sources, but my opponent starts to get path happy. The odds of that happening go up. I am attacking my opponent for 3 turns. Like, all things considered, this isn't horrible. Drawing another Spring Leaf is bad, of course. Like, this is my opponent's missed some land drops. Last turn he missed a land drop. And even in the face of a Stony, keep playing your artifacts. You know, like, they don't do anything, but maybe the opponent will get greedy. My opponent looks like he got greedy on this Stony Silence keep. He's still a long way away from doing anything to me. And I need to draw a red source, or I need to draw some additional mana. Yeah, is my opponent just going to sweep through his turn again? Alright, sure. Tempered Steel, okay, so that's step 1 here. Be super sweet if I could draw into a red source. Alright, sweet. Yes, I will use Paz's ability. Next turn I'll go ahead and play an Arcbound. So Modular is not an activated ability, so if Arcbound dies, the Modular still happens. Vault Scourge. Let's not do that. Let's go ahead and swing for 2. Oh, yeah. My opponent's just missed so many land drops. Let's play an Arcbound. Sure, it gets countered. I'd rather it get countered, I think, than the Vault Scourge. And I'm really hoping I draw a reds. Oh, I have no... Well, that's not true. I could draw a Glimmer Void. My opponent's missed several land drops in a row. Let's go ahead and try and play this Arcbound. Yeah, sure, Mana Leak. I'm playing these cards that I can draw out my opponent's counter magic, so when the time comes to Gal Blast or Tempered Steel, I can win. And my Mim Knights are getting there. Okay, another Arcbound. Let's go ahead and attack. I've been missing a lot of land drops too, but I'm the one who is able to deploy threats. Okay, Vendilion Click. Clicking who? Clicking himself. The fact that my opponent has to spend a Vendilion Click here to chump a Mim Knight, like, that's game. Yeah, that's some game. Let's go ahead and play the Arcbound. Another Ink Moth. Okay, not happy with that. Wish it was a Blank Moth, but can't have it all. Alright, my opponent is at 1. No need to play this other Vault Scourge in case he board wipes this turn somehow. Alright, and we win the match. I don't know why you... Okay. He had a Hallowed Fountain and Supreme Verdict. I don't know why he didn't play some of these cards. He could have won the game. Unless he had literally just drawn Hallowed Fountain, but then why didn't he Path me, or why didn't he Supreme Verdict? I don't think my opponent should have lost this game, but oh well, no matter. It is very satisfying as an Affinity player to beat a hate card like Stony Silence. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about that. Let's go ahead and go on to the next match.